are back in the Fall of London series. Tonight we carry on telling the story of Sir Christopher, Sextus, and Thomas Wilkins. Now, let's find out what the tonight's story brings to us, shall we? Now, let's remember what happened before, where we left off. Truth be told, truth be told, we actually ended up experiencing a memoriam. Hmm? We are back
That is
in the
correct.
London of 1888, the Gaslight period. We are in Mayfair, still in London, of course, and you find yourselves, attending a party, a gala, a a meeting of minds and intellectuals, a meeting organized by the Marchioness Fenella Fresworthy. That's a mouthful, but still, that woman, that woman's name is quite influential, and her as a figure is one whom you should be paying attention. And when I say you, I'm looking at you, all you three, Christopher, Sextus, and Thomas. You can't even wrap your thoughts around that particular memory. You can't even remember if that was the case, but still, you feel as if you have experienced that beforehand. Now, had you, were you existing around that time? Only you know. But still, the mere presence of Sri Sansa anchors you heavily in the story. When I mention Sri Sansa, allow me to mention that he is a Tremere, and he, of course, is member of the Camarilla, of the sect. Now, back then, you sense that he still was a member of the Camarilla. But we experience right now, it's something it's a story, an event emerging from some recesses of one's deep memories. Now, as you find yourselves in that manner, you feel you feel like you belong here, and your presence actually plays an important role in that particular story. You feel like you are well connected to the entirety, to the story's entirety. Now, it is quite of a weird feeling to feel like your very existence hangs on the accurate depiction of that particular scene. But this is what being changed to a memoriam feels like. It is far more vivid than a mere memory. So, as we start tonight's game, I want you all to regain your willpower points, as many willpower points as your resolve or composure, whichever is the highest. And I would urge you to please recalibrate your desires, should you so wish.
Yeah.
Tonight, we are venturing off within Sri Sansa's mind. You will experience some sort of an emotional jolt, and probably, depending on what you do, you'll end up finding more about the dark society that revolves around the very kindred society of London. And yes, I mention a different society than the kindred one. So let's start with that, shall we? Let's zoom back in, and I would kindly ask from all three of you to place yourselves in the manor. Now you see how the manor looks like, right? A fireplace to the far end of the wall on the far end, and accompanied by a prominent painting, probably by those prominent artists of the old. One would mention Master Holbein, but I'm not that well versed in art. So let's let's ask Sextus then. My dear Sextus, our beloved Toreador, please give us your insight about the level of artistry that surrounds you, that you can find in that manner tonight.
It is not worth getting lost into, but still quite worth looking at. It does not trigger the deep emotions one might expect, but for an auteur, it's fine.
Is there anything that you want to add, or is it just fine?
There is one piece, perhaps the one above the fireplace, that does catch the eye.
Mhm. I understand. Now, can you please take a good look at that particular painting? Now that you mention it, can you please focus your eyes onto that particular painting? Now,
What is that?
do you perchance want to be assisted by a role, Sextus?
Yes, please.
Of course,
Yes.
yes. Yes. I would kindly ask of you to roll your wits plus craft. If you have any specialty in painting or whatnot, or even, reading paintings and whatnot, I would kindly ask of you to add that in.
She does not. But what is the difficulty?
The difficulty for that should be three.
Okay.
Mm, I see. There is a prospect of
Uh,
critical success deep down
uh,
within your
could I
mind.
burn a willpower?
Of course you can, yeah. Deep down within your mind, you realize that the knowledge still exists, but as you lay your eyes onto the painting, you see absolutely nothing peculiar, nothing different, but it is captivating. Now, regardless of the trigger, I would kindly ask of you to face your compulsion here tonight. I would kindly ask of you to focus on that impeccable work of art and akin to the Stendhal syndrome that renders one unable to act or react or even exist in the presence of a masterpiece. I would kindly ask of you to experience that particular thing, but still, you can retain your very own, cognition and level of communication. Now, this aesthetic fixation will not inhibit you from doing anything else. But when you interact with something less than beautiful, your bane severity will apply to your use of the disciplines, if that's okay with you.
Fine.
Still in that picture, you see you see a lady accompanied by her friend who are whose gaze actually rests on the horizon. And behind them there is a man, a sinister looking man who approaches them from behind. Beforehand, he had managed to pass through their level of vision, but now he's moving past them. That only implies that he is familiar to those two women. They find themselves in a forest, but still all these poetic artistically forests are meant to express something much more refined, yet primal. Still, the meaning of the painting eludes you, Sextus, but that's not the issue tonight. Because as you rest your eyes onto that particular painting, you feel a presence accompanying you. That's such a magnificent painting. You hear her voice trailing from behind, akin to the man who is lying, who is, who is, mm, who's just, surprising those two women onto the painting as well, with the very same modus operandi. But as you lay your eyes onto the woman approaching you, you see a rather familiar figure, Regina Blake. But this one is quite different from the original one you have interacted with before. She is breathing. She has a heartbeat. She has a smile and joviality, that of the mortals. Such a magnificent painting, isn't it? She says.
It is quite captivating.
Of course,
Hard to tear one's gaze from it.
this painting has a story, said Regina. It actually started as a piece of artwork that was bartered by a banker. Let me tell you more about the story, she says, as she starts talking. Now, I will allow the camera to pan further ahead to the others, but before we leave you, Sextus, is there any way that you are conversing with a woman? Any reaction? Anything that differs from the expected one?
She's they are talking about one of her favorite things, so she is more animated than usual,
Mm,
less aloof,
mhm.
and she might be more interested in Regina than she lets on.
I understand. I understand. Is there anything else that you want to add other than these?
Well, if this woman can keep her attention, she might be quite the addition to the Clan of the Rose.
Mm, excellent. Excellent. We'll come to that later. Of course we will. Now, as we pan through the camera, as I mentioned to you, there there are two more coterie members of yours who, like you, have linked their emotions and memories to that of Sri Sansa. Now, let's ask the American one, right? Thomas. Thomas, if I recall correctly, last time you were interrupted by the Marchioness as well as um, her guest of honor. That's Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. You are familiar with the person. We all are. We're talking about a rather historical figure, right? So let's just start by placing you in the scene and asking of you what your primary emotions are. Right?
Well, we're around a bunch of people, and generally speaking, Thomas doesn't like being around a bunch of people, but he's not a very unsocial person either.
Mhm,
Um, more than likely he'd probably stick around people that he knows and can conversate with rather than strangers. So
Mm. So will you stand there and converse with the Marchioness and her guest?
uh yeah, sure.
Hmm, I understand. So the Marchioness is quite of a sociable character, right? She smiles and opens her mouth as she starts, um, just throwing the idle gossip that one could just, feed their social ego with. Hmm? Have you heard of this and that? Have you heard about the rumors encompassing that person and that incident? She's quite nosy, and Sir Doyle is doing his very best to actually maintain his his integrity. Now, is there anyone close to you, Thomas? I mean, would you be accompanied by your coterie member, Sir Christopher? That's a question for you, Sir Christopher.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question, please? I didn't hear it correctly. Sorry.
Okay, okay. People start pay attention to the game. So, Sir Christopher, you are
Yes.
you are partaking in that particular gala, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you are in the same room as Sextus and Thomas. Now, my question is,
Sextus is taken aback by the painting above the mantelpiece and the soon-to-be added Regina Blake to the Clan of the Rose. And our dear American is trying to be sociably antisocial.
exactly. So, my question would be, will you be close to your dear American friend, or are you carving up a path of your own in that gala?
Actually, for once in his life, Sir Christopher is actually going to observe. He wants to see why they're here, and why they're here is either Sri Sansa or the Marchioness or Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So he's going to hang a bit back, more watching the proceedings than cutting his own um, path, shall we say? Cutting his own
Mhm,
rake in
mhm,
this gala. He's going to be discreet, but as courteous as his station demands if somebody approaches him.
mhm. I understand. So, from what I've gathered, you will um,
For now,
you
I will observe.
you will passively observe what's going on, and
Yes.
that's quite of a prudent thing to do in that particular moment, as you see Sri Sansa feeling totally out of place and totally lost among those people. As I mentioned before, you also see some ladies of the good society parlaying with uh, some rather prominent members of the kindred society. Mainly, namely, I will bring your attention back to Juliet Parr, who is
Hmm.
well known to you, Christopher, and Sir Richard the Warder, your nemesis, the one that you have tussled with socially and
The,
mentally.
the one we've apparently scratched the wrong way.
Mm, indeed, indeed. Now, Sri Sansa carries on talking with the Marchioness. He changes the subject and immediately brings her back to the original, to the actual reason for why he's here. Please forgive me, Marchioness, but you wanted for me to attend tonight's proceedings for. Oh yes, of course, my dear. My dear Guru, we really value your input, and we would love to hear your words and see your talents. He raises an eyebrow. Are all these people here for me? But of course, she says. This is a gathering of intellects, of intellectuals. We're not here for any sort of parlor tricks or to do any sort of mumbo jumbo proceedings. We understand and we believe in your very own talents, dear Guru. Now, Sri Sansa, even though he is a vampire and you definitely sense that, you realize that he is worthy. Now, standing close to him, I would give you the chance to feel something regarding his own emotions with wits plus insight, if you're so interested.
Hmm.
I will be. Give me just a second.
And the target number for
Insight.
that is just 2.
Okay. Give me a moment. Give me just one moment. Did I have? Yes. Is this a profiling role, Babis?
Oh, yes, that's perfect. Thanks for noticing.
I am also going to add my specialty die in this case. Then.
Excellent.
You said wits and insight?
Insight, correct.
Sorry, that was a drop die.
Was that was this a roll for everyone, or am I
That's a roll for them.
okay?
So, sorry for that.
Babis, difficulty was
2. Excellent. We got 3 successes here and single success here. Thomas, Christopher succeeded in that. Are you okay with not rolling any sort of willpower?
Nah. Nah, I'm good.
Cool. So let's proceed with that. Christopher, you do realize that the guru's back has reached the wall. Now he only feels and looks like he has been invited to to an obscure meeting, and that he kinda gets used. You realize that his fame supersedes him, right? But that won't do. You feel that the Marchioness kinda invited him into something that he
to
didn't sign
show
up
him
for.
off.
Mhm.
I am going to lean in and offer some encouragement. This is not a battlefield you signed up for, Guru, but it is one you can navigate. This is not a pleasant memory, is it? Come, let us face it together. I will be right beside you all the way through. I will help as needed.
The guru.
Troubled horses, old friend.
Mm, excellent. Let's just accompany that with a roll, right? An empowered one. Please roll your charisma plus leadership, and please add your pretty dice. The fact that you are beautiful
Mm-hmm.
looking, as well as any sort
My
of
pretty dice,
modifiers.
yes.
Your pretty dice, yeah. And there is no target number. I just want you to get as many successes as you can.
Okay, so this would be charisma plus leadership plus 1 die. You know what? I'm going to rouse the blood here
Excellent.
for another 2 dice.
Excellent.
And I am also going to willpower this in order to re-roll these 3 normal dice for a total of 6 successes. Let me also roll my rouse check, please. And I don't get hungrier. There you go.
Excellent. Excellent. Now the guru frowns as he listens to what you have to say, and then he immediately you immediately feel that his worries get alleviated. That gets shown in his face. He mouths a thank you, a silent one, before he turns his attention back to the Marchioness. Now, forgive me, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle breaks the silence, that emotional silence between you two. Please forgive me, gentlemen. I really wanted to ask the guru certain stuff about the spiritual endeavors that he aspires to. Now that's going to be a lengthy discussion. As Sir Doyle takes three sons by the sleeve and just, drags him to the side. You are left with the Marchioness, but then her interest get interests draw her elsewhere. Now, Thomas and Christopher, you're momentarily on your own, yet you see that at the end of on the other wall, opposite to where you're standing, Sextus is having a small talk with Regina Blake's mortal self. And in fact, the ladies
Hmm.
are getting into a really a rather artistically hot debate.
Good. I don't know how much more conversating I could have done with some people that I didn't really know, but
Thank Mithras we can't change history in these ones.
So any actions, reactions, or responses on your part?
Babis, what year did you say this was?
1888. A 1 and 3/8.
Right.
Mhm.
Despite him being kind of prudish in person, I do quite enjoy his novels. Shall
Seem
we
to
retrieve our
remember.
wayward friend over there?
Retrieve all support as the situation calls for. Let's go. Actually, I take a look towards Sri Sansa's side. Is he looking for a way out?
Not at the moment, but from what it looks like, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle has taken his notebook out, and is keeping notes.
Oh. So, okay, this is going into one book or another. I don't remember which one, but it is going into a book. But it seems that our friend is, for the time being, in good hands and in his element. I have 2 other targets that we need to observe. And with my eyes, I point towards Artemis's and the prince's lapdog. I believe it is time to extract some information for our own interests. Hopefully, Tree's memories will suffice. Let's go say hi to the Sheriff of London, shall we?
Thomas?
Yeah, why not? Haven't had a good tussle with the law in a bit.
So you two gentlemen, you do approach Juliet Parr. At that moment, she is having a rather interesting discussion with another person that you're not familiar with. Now, as you approach, she turns to look at you. Good eve, she says, in a rather bossy tone. I don't
In a
believe
what
we
tone?
in a rather bossy tone. I don't believe
Hmm.
we've met before, she says with a lack of smile. Yet I sense that you are quite an important individuals.
Merely guests of the Marchioness for today. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Lady Parr.
She nods.
Allow me to introduce. Allow me to introduce my companion, Mr. Thomas Wilkins.
I am.
She nods.
I am Sir Christopher Montague.
She narrows her eyes, furrowing her brows as if she tries to remember who you actually are. And then all of a sudden, she does. Ah, so I believe that you and Mr. Wilkins share the same, how to put it, ideology.
That would be a correct assumption.
Now, my second assumption would be, do you share the same origin? She smiles.
Uh, what does she mean by this?
Well, who knows? Do you want to roll an insight for that? Unless
I
you
will.
close them.
I will indeed, because I'm not entirely sure as a player if she's talking about clan and blood or something else.
Yeah. So the target
Is
number
that
for
with
that should be 2.
which plus insight?
Yes.
Not a profiling roll, I guess.
Sadly not.
Two
Oh,
successes.
excellent. She means whether you are a vampire, whether you both are vampires or not.
Indeed, we are both of the same origin,
She nods.
belonging in different families, however.
Then allow me to introduce you to Sir Arthur Halesworth, the one she's conversing with. She actually points at the guy. He is the sheriff of South London, she says with a smile. I assume that you are aware that I am the sheriff of East London.
Such a grand city she is that she requires more than one sheriff.
In
It
fact,
is a rather large city.
she nods as she.
What?
But it is a rather large city.
In fact, she says, there are 4 of us. So I assume
One
that
for the cardinal direction.
she nods. Correct. A correct assumption. It's all that we can do for our prince, Mithras. So now it makes sense. So, gentlemen, please do shed some light to what we were discussing before. We actually have reached an impasse. It is a matter of less of a political nature, but much more of a philosophical one.
Ah, the non-quantifiable parts of our existence, then. Of course, we would be glad to share our views. I don't purport to bring any measure of absolute truth, but we do have some experience.
So you mentioned that you and your friend do not share the same origin, yet you are from a different clan. You are Event as far as I know. Your fame precedes you.
That is correct.
And
I
what
belong to
about?
the path of the Lords.
She turns to look at Thomas. And what about you, sir?
Hmm.
Where do you hail from?
Well, I'm from originally I'm from Texas, but if you are asking about bloodlines and things of that nature, I do believe my sire said we descend from the Carpathians.
Ah,
What the cinnamon toast fuck is in Texas?
it's a different clan.
Only the finest state not their union across the sea.
It's a different domain. She nods and says that then you are of two different clans, and dare I say, two clans with a past. Now, Sir Halesworth and myself are actually wondering ourselves what happens when the Masquerade is breached. I mean, one would expect that we adhere to the law and hunt the perpetrator down and deliver them sweet justice, especially when they find themselves either in South or East London, because that's where our jurisdiction is. But my question is much more philosophical. She leans closer to both of you, as if she is about to extend her hands and just cradle you and hold you, forming a soft triangle as you three do some sort of serious talk now.
Ball huddle.
Mm, yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah. What taste does the perpetrator have? And I'm not talking about their blood. I'm talking about their skin. Would it taste like strawberries, or would it, as Sir Halesworth suggests, or does it taste as regret?
Now that
Thomas, is
is
that
not.
laughter genuine?
Oh, that was not Thomas laughing.
Ah, sorry,
That was
sorry.
not Thomas. That was a genuine laughter on my end, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
That,
Their skin? What
my
does it
dear
taste like? What the
sheriff,
fuck?
was not the question I expected.
Oh, but it does raise a little bit of an interesting
Is there
inquiry.
is there any of these talks done publicly?
No, of course not. This is very
Okay.
close. That would, I believe, depend on what exactly preceded the catch. A lengthy chase would have them tasting of fear. A short chase would have them taste of elation, most likely. Sometimes it may even taste of defiance. In the end, though, it will always taste of regret. The regret of getting caught.
Right. I don't think that they would actually regret what they did. It's more that they got caught doing it.
There are those who would be reticent, of course, but breaching one of our rules is more often a choice than a happenstance, or sometimes even a frame up.
Now, Juliet smiles. She takes a good look at Sir Arthur. She tells him, "See, Sir Halesworth, you are mistaken. There is not a single inch of taste of fruit in a hundred one's onto a hundred one's skin, so you lost."
Unless you dip them in strawberry jam first, but I hear it's not the season.
They
Of
both
course, I
turn to
also
look.
think it might be discerned by the palate of the one consuming as well.
And Sir Christopher Montague is laughing again, honestly.
Juliet still smiles. Sir Arthur tries to smile in vain. "I believe that you misunderstood everything that I said to you, Sheriff Parr. But if we have to stick to semantics, then I just claim that you stand correct. See? That's what I intended to in the first place. Thank you so much for backing down, Sir Halesworth. Arthur, sometimes it's worth noticing one's very superiority regarding matters of the hunt." She turns to look at both of you. "And I have you to thank about that kind of about shedding some light to my question. Thank you so much, dear sirs, both of you."
I
Happy to.
commend you, Sir Arthur, for your composure in this matter, but would you not enlighten us as to the hidden meaning behind the taste of strawberries? There is always something to learn. There is always something that even the more experienced upon us, even the most superior, may be missing, and details and indeed the stock and trade of a sheriff, a good hunter, a good investigator.
Sir Halesworth turns to look at you. Seriousness in his eyes. "My composure, you mentioned. Dear sir, I assure you that there was not a hidden meaning behind this. It was just a practical, philosophical joke cracked by our sweet Malkavian sheriff." He turns to look at Juliet, who just trailed off, appeased that she won yet another bout against the sheriff of South London.
Thomas
Is
is
the
going to lean over to Christopher to kind of whisper, "Well, now the conversation makes a little bit more sense."
more a lot? Are these philosophical and verbal bouts usual between you and your colleague,
You,
Sir Hellsworth?
you, you can't even imagine, he says, when it comes to parleying with my fellow sheriffs. One would claim that it is such a difficult endeavor. I have to choose between a hot-headed Bruja, a ferocious gangrel, and a practical Malkavian. His eyes betray it all. Sir Halesworth does indeed have an issue when talking to his fellow sheriffs, and
And
he's looking for a lifeline out of that ocean of daftness.
and which of our families do you hail from, Sir Hellsworth?
Oh, what did you say? Sorry, which one?
Which of our families do you hail from, Sir Hellsworth? Which of our bloodlines?
He smiles. "Oh, I am amazed that You don't know much about me. One would assume that I am part of the Ventru, but I
Then you
assure,
and I share common ancestry.
but I assure you that my ancestor had a different bloodline, a bloodline of the Gangrel. Now fuck me
Ah,
sideways. Really? Gangrel? That guy here? No way.
hmm. I would never presume as to a kindred's bloodline. It is difficult to find consensus between strong willed and powerful individuals, especially when some are indeed prone to the weaknesses of our forebears.
Oh, you will be amazed, says the guy.
Believe me, Sir Halesworth, believe you me, I do understand. I do understand. I am fortunate that in my dealings with my companions, a lady of roses and a gentleman hailing from such disparate worlds as the New World and the Carpathian Mountains, I do have a, shall we say, a fine line to tread when seeking that consensus. We all pull towards our different directions. We all have our desires to contend with. It is never easy, but it is so rewarding when it happens.
He closes in. I get you, sir, but I do hate this kind of things. Two sheriffs here. You understand what I say.
Right.
And in whose jurisdiction are we?
Prince Mithras's, of course.
No, I think what my associate is asking is which sheriff's jurisdiction are we in?
Oh, I understood that perfectly, and I'm trying to give you the most concrete of answers. It is our Prince Mithras's Galatonite. He is watching. Now, as he says that,
Uh,
it really sends shivers down your spine. What does he mean by that? He's watching.
Oh, that would explain a few things, including why two sheriffs are here, including why Sir DeWard is here, and perhaps why we are here. Is a lord and master expected to make an appearance tonight?
He looks at you in the eye. It really depends on how things proceed, good sir. I would never disclose our prince's very plans. You understand?
So this was way before our time, so we can't exactly leverage our status to the cult, correct?
Correct. Super correct, actually. In fact, on point.
Mm, I see. Very not, Sir Halesworth. We are not here to create troubles for our illustrious prince. And that pause was to signify that Sir Montague wanted to use another word.
Mm. Yeah.
And if Sir Halesworth is of the cult, he definitely understood.
Hmm.
and I would definitely let me check something. I would definitely want to roll subterfuge in the way that what's it called? That innuendo used to work back in third edition D&D. That he does get a hidden meaning, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah,
If
I
he's
understand.
one of us.
Yeah, that's subterfuge for you. So charisma plus subterfuge for you.
Let me see if I have any specialties, which I don't think I do. But let me check for just a moment. Apologies. Nope. I'm just going to roll my subterfuge as it is. Is there a difficulty?
No, it really depends on how well you roll.
Yeah, I could have rolled better.
At least it wasn't a bestial failure.
True.
Yeah.
No, it's not a bestial failure. You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to willpower this. This is not very important.
Indeed. Now, as you are winking at him, you see someone passing in front of you all. I've talked about splendid-looking creatures, but this one just beats everyone to the punch. This woman has it
Oh,
all.
yes.
She passes in front of you, and then she joins her sweet friend, who's talking with a rather dear member of your coterie. Now, Victoria joins your duo, Sextus. Is everything all right, sweet Regina? Are you having fun? You see, Victoria and Regina talk to each other. Victoria being more motherly, Regina being more daughter-like, but both of them having something flagrant between. Sextus, for the time being, your attention to that picture, to that painting, can wither because you are now standing close to a rather legendary vampire, whether you know it or not, or whether you know her or not. She turns to introduce herself to you. My pleasure to meet you, my lady. I'm Victoria Ash.
My name is Sextus. It is, as ever, a pleasure to meet someone so illustrious.
Oh, I believe you do me much honor. But do you like, how do you find tonight's proceedings? Are you having fun?
It is quite an enjoyable evening. Regina and I were just discussing the finer points of artwork. Someone
Oh,
of an interest of mine.
ah, you have noticed that masterpiece, eh? I was thinking about that myself, but then it is quite of a convenient. I've learned that there is a convenient solution behind the identity of that artist. The art is supposed to be unknown, but I still can't buy that shit. I mean, is there any artist out there who doesn't want to be attributed to his own line of work?
There is something romantic about an unknown artist, isn't there?
Indeed, you sound more like a toreador, lady, she says with a smile. And then you hear her voice in your head. I see you. Oh, such a nice little flower. And then she immediately escapes your head.
What was that
Damn,
last word?
for you, bitch.
Yes. That was Cain's gift, inv- allowing her to invade your mind. Is everything all right? She says. She asks.
Everything is quite alright, my dear. I guess
Please
it's
don't,
never been better.
please don't you worry. Regina is well versed in our own world. She is under my protection. She's my best friend, aren't you, Regina? Regina can only manage an enthralled and captivated yes. I'm afraid
For
that
good reason.
go on, go on.
She does seem like a very good friend to have.
She looks at
I
her.
can see why you're drawn to her.
I I admire I admire all powerful ladies. I do pay my respects to them when I see one, and I also pay my respects when I see a an artistically apt toreador. We share the same bloodline, you and I, sweet Sextus.
We do.
Now, pray, have you?
Oh,
Sorry, carry on.
we do. I quite enjoy the company of other
Well,
artists.
she nods. Us toreadors should flock together, especially when we are accompanied by less artistically inclined individuals. I understand that you arrived tonight with the guru, Sri Sansa, wasn't it?
We were fortunate to share a ride, yes.
Oh, now they all parade him like a dog, like an exotic dog brought from the Indies. But I'm not amazed by that. From what it looks like, the Marchioness needs to make a long-lasting impression. Haven't you heard?
Mm. And gossip does have a way of finding its way to my ears, but perhaps your take on it would be enlightening.
Then in that case, Sextus, the storyteller would kindly ask of you, since you've done this quite nicely, to roll your manipulation plus subterfuge against
Okay?
Victoria Ash's target number of 6.
Okay.
Ouch.
That's
Sending
one
good
of the
vibes.
highest target numbers, I'm afraid.
I will be routing the blood for this one.
Exactly. As well as she has, so good choice. You are getting there, Sextus. Willbarring?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's beat her to a pulp. Ah, 4 successes. Not even 5.
Damn.
This is,
Close.
Yeah. And I
you
got
are
hungrier.
you are parlaying with Victoria Ash, and you can only realize that that woman, is quite of a prodigy when it comes to gossiping and manipulating the talk around. She she gives you a lot of info regarding tonight's gala. Did you know that the Marchioness knows nothing about vampires? And that she still believes that all these people around here are mortals? Well, on top of that, she doesn't have any children, so she expects that she will live on forever. as if those galas would actually, make her eternal in some sort of way. Little does she know that it's only by the whims of one of her guests that she can join the world of the damned. But alas, she, her nature doesn't prove her as a notable asset to any of the guests present, not even the Malkavians. Now, from what it looks like once more, Victoria understands that all the people here are only here for one thing. They are afraid that, have you heard, Mithras might be joining tonight's proceedings. In fact, that's why they have ensured that they have two different sets of butlers who take care of kindred and of mortals, so that the masquerade be not breached. So if Mithras joins tonight, then he might be doing so in the in a less glorious guise. Now that makes sense why Richard the Ward is here, his spy master, his trusted other, the Nosferatu aide. He's here to ensure that everything goes as planned. And probably all these people, the sheriffs and the spy master, might end up acting out as a buffer zone if things go hairy. Because from what is told around, Mithras is afraid that there are conspirators working behind his back. That's all she could gather. And that stuff she feeds you quite nastily. And in turn, she asks a lot of things about the guru, your friends, your purpose in life, whether you have child or not. She learns it all. Is there any particular secret that you want to divulge that would make Victoria Ash go crazy and bask in elation?
Hmm.
Guys, give me just a moment, please.
Sure.
We might let's look who her sire is.
Okay. Who's your sire?
Not necessarily Xander. He was quite well known in uh, he was quite well known in opera circles, and he's also rumored to have a secret smell to rival the Nosferatu.
Ooh. Why would that be though? Why is he smelly? Does he not properly wash himself?
Yeah, it's rare that anyone gets to meet him.
Ah,
In fact, one might say it's almost impossible.
ah, I see. Truth be told, not even Victoria knows of who Xander is. In fact, the man's so secretive, the person's so secretive, that not even the most gossipy of your bloodline even knows of their existence.
It's just the way he likes it.
Mm.
But
So, oh,
a meeting might be beneficial.
hmm. Well, Victoria kinda agrees. She also mentions that you are, you, my friend, are a person of interest. There's someone else that asked me tonight about who you were. Now you can see her over there. And she cranes her neck softly so as to indicate, to point to you, the person who's actually asking about you. You turn to look at her. Could you surmise who that person might be? Sextus.
Just
Just a guess. Can you take a guess?
you would not be surprised if it was the Marchioness herself.
Ah. Well, alas, it's not the Marchioness, but it is someone whom you remember vividly. Lady Amelia Turpin, says Victoria. Now a surname to match the beach's face.
Well,
I gotta step
is,
away for
I'm
a
sorry.
moment, and I'll be right back.
Sure.
What was that last sentence? I couldn't quite hear you.
That last sentence was, you, it is Lady Amelia Turpin, the woman's family name now made known to you as well. Because the first time she introduced herself as Lady Amelia, nothing else. And you remember her exactly as she was. She's even wearing the same clothes. She's holding a glass and she's savoring her drink. And she looks at you voraciously so. I mean, she has been wronged before. You need to cut her some slack.
Well, if someone is so interested in me, I should perhaps give my adoring fans what they wish. And Victoria does not counsel her against going to see this Lady Amelia.
What was the last sentence? I couldn't hear that.
Assuming Victoria Ash does not counsel against going to see this Lady Amelia.
Hmm. From what it looks like, Victoria will not associate herself with her. For now.
Sexus will definitely take note of that. Low company is always so gauche.
She smiles. Now, as you carry on talking, it looks like that the Toreador here around have the most juicy information that they can offer. Tonight it is a night of Mithras, of the Guru, and no one else, not even the Marchioness. But there are so many people from all walks of life, and they are here for a particular thing. Now, as you are doing the talking here and there, you feel like a considerable amount of time has passed. And then everyone just, well, the Marchioness gathers the attention, right? She immediately announces to everyone that we will be starting off with Guru Stansis's own counsel. Please, if you are interested, just be quiet and enjoy your drink. as the guru will make sure that we all learn something more about our own spirituality and the power of our minds. Now she says all this nonsense, but is it nonsense? Is anyone amongst you willing to test their academics knowledge plus intelligence against the integrity of the Marchioness's words?
My academic is 0. I wouldn't.
As is mine.
Okay.
But I do have a cult.
No. Here we're talking about some sort of, proper organized religion stuff.
Hmm.
So I believe that Thomas is away for now, unless he isn't.
I believe so.
Yeah. So proceeding, the Guru Sansa indeed um, assumes position. He gathers the attention of everyone, and he starts talking. He starts talking about Buddhism and the meaning of life, and the meaning of life, and the final destination, and the way that one could circumvent that and experience some different lives. He's been quite hopeful. Not only does he offer hope, but he offers a prospect after death. Now, whether you are familiar with Buddhism or not, it doesn't matter, because the guru is actually blurting out all the philosophical intricacies of that particular religion. That that makes the Marchioness feel much more hopeful. Hmm?
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back. Now you understand why she insisted on inviting them out tonight. Mhm. All she wanted is hope, because her health is failing, her age becomes much more of an obstruction and less than a joy. She tries to cling on desperately to existing. Poor her, standing amongst vampires. Now, this entire thing will take 20 minutes or so. It will be a deep philosophical uh, and religious talk. If you want to indulge, if you want to participate, if you want to actually strike a conversation or even, address some questions or anything, you can, we can portray that with a role. Who knows, perhaps you might end up learning something, but if you fail, is there a chance that your status might be hindered? Now, let's ask you, the three, hmm, talk about it. What goes through your mind now that you are paying attention to the guru that has you chained here in his memory? What do you feel? What do you think of? And is there anything that you want to say? And an action that you want to take?
Sir Christopher's thought is, what does Sri Sansa want to show us? What exactly does he want us to infer from this? And why do I have a feeling that this is Sri Sansa leaving his legacy behind to us, in a sense? Because I do remember some sort of prophecy regarding Sri Sansa and the fact that he's bound to disappear after he meets the Chosen of the Sun. Is he talking to us now? Is he talking to everyone? Is he trying to talk to everyone but directed at us? Yes, as a Christopher would very much like to try and discern this, if possible.
Of course.
But he would not presume to interrupt Shrixhansa in this case. He is not well versed in academics, organized religion, and such.
I understand. Now, what about Sextus? Is there anything that goes through your mind?
Sextus is listening, but it's only with half an ear. She's still somewhat rattled by the conversation with Victoria Ash, and that is mostly what's on her mind right now.
Now that you mention it, do you scan the area around whilst you are listening to the guru's words? Well, whilst you feign listening the guru's words,
She will, yes.
then you see Amelia's eyes on you. Damn, she won't let go. You were hers. You were supposed to be hers, to have been hers. And you feel it. That seething anger and resentment, all harbored in one stabby gaze. Regret, bitterness, behind the Tremere's own gaze. And she's talking to someone close to her in a hushed voice. They both tried to not to raise any alarms, but you definitely feel that something fishy is going on. Any response or reaction you might want to take before I ask Thomas about his own viewpoint?
Uh, she is going to try to activate premonition.
Damn.
Whether or not that's a good idea in such a crowded room is a good idea, I have no idea. But a premonition would probably be a good idea right now.
Mhm. Let's invoke premonition, right? Let's have you try to actually uh, stir the waters of vision, and let's find out what the future holds in store for you. So, checking on premonition once more. Now that you want to invoke it yourself on your own, you'll need to proceed with a resolve plus auspice roll against the target number of 3. Sextus.
I'll be willpowering that.
Of course, of course. Does the future hold nothing for you in store? Oh
In the
my,
what?
What?
oh my cane. That wasn't called for. Now, this might actually portray a rather interesting thing here. You try to invoke your premonition, you try to peer into the future, and behind those two people, people's faces, you see absolutely nothing, nothing linking you with them. In fact, you see the man taking a good look at you too. To be honest, the man looks like Dr. John D. I don't know if you're quite familiar with that particular person. So that Dr. John Dee was supposed to be a rather famous uh, alchemist of the 16th century. Now, obviously, a vampire.
She doesn't have to shiver, but she finds she's doing it anyways.
Mm, it looks like you have got the Tremor's attention. And now that Kane has betrayed you, it feels that the Tremere are actually encroaching you with their own attention. As as we proceed, I would kindly ask of Thomas to let us know what he is thinking of and what he's doing whilst he pays Guru Sansa's lesson, um, pays attention to the Guru Sansa's lesson.
Uh, yeah. So I kind of missed what this situation actually is.
Right now, the Guru is actually giving a I don't know, some sort of a talk
Lecture.
of lecture, yeah, religious lecture and philosophical one regarding life and reincarnation, regarding
Okay,
Buddhism
so
in
we're
general,
gotcha.
and everyone's paying
Oh.
attention.
Let's see.
So, is there anything that you want to say or do, Thomas?
I'm looking. Let me just see. I don't have. Uh,
No, I think because I don't really know what all to do here. I think Thomas would probably just listen.
I understand. And then, as Sri Sansa's lecture culminates into a really respectful moment, he mentions that everyone can experience that transcending moment without needing to die. And as he says that, everyone's ears perk up. So that's his stick. He offers a way, he offers an eye to the universe without joining it entirely. He mentions that one can experience that transcending moment when they let the cosmos grace them with its presence and feel part of it only for a couple of seconds. Now, you don't need no dice to realize that this is a bunch of bullshit. Or probably something that smells much more of a, vampiric influence. But what he does is he asks for you to savor the soma, Soma, and that's supposed to be the drink of the cosmos, the thing that will have you hear the voice of the universe and feel the energy of the universe. And probably this will actually cure some sort of illnesses that you might have because for only a couple of seconds you become part of the bigger picture. You become part of the whole and you're not just a human being. And that soma gets delivered to everyone. I mean, everyone. You see that there are some, waiters delivering, glasses of that kind of soma drink, and they even offer it to you. Now, Sir Christopher, it smells of gin.
Sir Christopher, what?
It smells of gin.
Does it smell of anything else?
Do you have medicine?
No.
Please do try if you like. I mean, anyone with medicine can roll. Well, even without medicine, you are allowed to roll. The target number for that should be 4 because it's not an easy thing to find out.
What in medicine?
What am I rolling again?
Yeah, so you're rolling intelligence plus medicine.
Intelligence in medicine.
You know what? No,
I'm gonna
going.
browse.
I'm going to roll subterfuge, actually,
What are you
in
going
order
to
to
roll?
pretend that I'm drinking it.
Why subterfuge? I mean,
Because I want to pretend that I'm drinking it. It would either be subterfuge or performance, one of the two.
Okay. Yeah.
I
But
will not drink
Yeah.
something that I have no idea what's in it. Because
course.
at best, it's an opiate. At worst, it's somebody else's blood.
Of course. You're not forced to. You're not forced to. But if you want to actually gain some sort of status by drinking it, yeah, of course. I mean, feel free to do that.
Like I said, I'm going to pretend that I'm drinking it.
Intelligence medicine. And that.
Yes.
What would I need to roll to pretend?
There we go.
That would be, let's say, resolve plus subterfuge.
Resolve plus subterfuge. Bear with
Well,
me
fuck
for a
me.
moment, please.
Thomas, it does smell of gin, and it kinda smells of laudanum. So the poison. Well, not poison, allow me to say. The
Yeah, laudanum's
relaxing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was used as a pain medication back then, but it's
Of course.
very addictive.
Yes.
I'm also going to rouse the blood for this check, Babis, because the
course.
difficulty is 4 and it's not easy. Okay?
Of course. Yes.
It was laudanum and opiates.
I believe so.
Okay. I just got the 4 successes needed.
From what it looks like,
Let
sir.
me
Yeah. Opium and
also
morphine.
rouse. And I'm getting hungry. Good.
In some sort of peculiar way, Sir Christopher manages to look like he's gulping down that shit. Gulping that shit down, but in fact he is not.
Sextus is still rattled.
Mhm.
She's not really paying attention, so she's going to drink without thinking.
Of course. So you said you're gonna be drinking or not drinking? Sorry.
She is drinking.
You're drinking. That's an excellent blend, Sextus. Now, before I proceed to the results, let me ask of Thomas. Thomas, drinking or not drinking?
Having been a surgeon as a mortal and whatnot, would I, and then also as a kindred, would I know if laudanum would have an effect on my undead body?
I don't believe you would. You would be knowledgeable of that. Only because of the role, right?
Right.
Yeah. Perhaps if you ever had the chance to actually, consume some sort of the opioids, you would have found out that they do have an effect on you.
I don't think Thomas would have been the person to kind of consume his own product. I don't think Thomas will drink. I
Hmm,
don't think he will.
I see. Now, Sextus, you are the only one who consumes that thing. You lower your hunger by one, and for that moment, you do feel that this soma drink has a perfect taste. It smells of cinnamon and flour, and still has a taste that reminds you of the Orient, and it makes you feel warm inside, and that warmth emanates from within you and makes everything feel much more pleasant. But still, those two Tremere hounds that are actually eyeing you, they are bitter as F. So no laudanum will
Hmm.
do will inhibit that ferocious stare of theirs. Now, after the guests consume that soma drink, everyone starts being much more, soft and gregarious and pleasant to talk to. The entire society has relaxed quite a lot. And from that point on, the um, the performances take place one after the other. There is one particular person named Miss Celia Wentworth, a well-known medium, who says that she can give reading to the guests. The woman replaces Sri Sansa onto the stage, and she summons forth ghosts who manifest as ectoplasm and knock upon the ceiling. All these phenomena.
Is she is she faking or is she Giovanni? Do the
o-
Giovanni even exist in fifth edition?
Okay, anyone that believes she
They
might be
both.
They
faking
are
out of.
wrapped in their column, but yes.
Mhm.
Ah, yes. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. There's nothing to apologize for, only to the Giovanni for mentioning the Masquerade. They didn't like that. Okay, anyone who wants to disbelieve that kind of thing, you are free to roll your Wits plus awareness again, or even occult if you like. And the difficulty is four.
Uh, which plus awareness is easier?
Mhm.
Ah, dang it!
Hey, actually got a successful dice pool this time.
Ooh, coolio.
So I'm definitely convinced that, oh my god, it's the ghost! Call the ghost busters!
But Thomas, Thomas, you got a messy critical. Your beast knows that you can't be fooled. All those kindred are prone to misdirection, but not you, young American, says the beast within you. You immediately realize that there is some sort of a contraption drawing everything up to the ceiling. Probably an accomplice at the attic, making Miss Wentworth seem like you know, seem like not a fraud, seem genuine. But Sextus, um, Victoria Ash stands near you with a smile on her face. She looks at you, and when she realizes that you kind of believed what Miss Wentworth is all about, she just lets you a disappointed look. Like, really? I don't know how that might feel to you, but in the end, it ends up being a rather comical and a bit joyous for you, Sextus. Up to that point that
Yes.
you can get a willpower point back.
Right.
Having satisfied the curiosity of the biggest harpy in the world will definitely make you feel like you're surrounded by friends. A false notion, but still, it has its perks, even at that moment. Then, after the entire charade is through, then that person, that Dr. John D, person that I mentioned before, approaches Sri Sansa as he retreats himself to the side where cushions and pillows are as he rests his weary body. You kind of feel attracted towards that nook. And the only reason why you feel attracted is because that memoriam chains you to Sri Sansa's next crucial moments. You you can try to resist, you can try to walk away, but no matter where you end up, this is the only moment in the game that you'll feel the railroading taking place. But that's a magical way, right? You feel the tug of destiny towards that space. And when the man closes in, Guru, I've listened to your words, and dare I say that you amazed me quite positively so. Now Sri Sansa starts being his jovial self, and again he tries to strike a conversation with the man. They start talking about the occult. They start talking about various different topics regarding the forbidden, regarding the occult, and then regarding vampirism itself. You stand there as listeners. Still, you can talk if you like. You can say, you can speak your own piece if you want. The man will introduce himself to all of you as Abraham Mellon. It's Remy.
What?
Yeah, it's
What the?
Remy. Please,
What kind of name
please,
is that?
Nigel, please compose yourself, my dear friend. I understand why you're doing that. Uh, but we have people watching that thing tonight. So let's carrying on. Abraham Mellon strikes a conversation with Sri Sansa. Starts talking about London, the London Society, the Vampiric Society, of course, right? And the destiny of the city and of the whole Albion. They speak of favors and powers. He tries to strike a bargain. Now, before we begin, allow me to allow me to to put your social skills to the test. Can you get what this is all about? Before you roll, why is Mr. Mellon here?
He said he's a Tremere, right?
Correct.
Is he lying?
Lying? Why lying? Yeah, so you want to roll an insight for that, right?
Yes,
Cool.
yes, especially after hearing the conversation for a while and keeping in mind what I know. of what I know of the future.
As Sir Christopher or as Nigel?
As a Christopher.
Okay, because as Nigel, I can understand where this is going. So yeah, please do roll your insight plus wits. And
Uh, uh, as Nigel, trust me, there is enough going on in my mind already.
okay, cool.
Wait a moment. Where's it?
As Nigel
So,
prepares to roll, wits
wit and
plus
insight.
yes, wit and insight.
And this is a profiling roll.
Yes, it is, of course. Please roll succeed against a target number of 4.
Wish me luck.
I wish you all the luck in the world, my friend. Pain is
You got
I'm
this.
going to willpower this.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Because I just need one. Give me one. I've got one.
Now, Dr. Mellon is here for a very particular reason. You see all the telling signs of a man who wants to recruit another in his own academic circle. Now, Abraham Mellon wishes to recruit Sri Sansa to whatever he plans to. He's about to pop the question. He has done it all. He has praised the quarry. He has praised their endeavors. He has stricken a conversation that has taken far too long, more than 10 minutes, feigning interest.
Is he
Yet
one of us? Is he of the cult of Mithras?
he is a vampire, and of course, he has uh the what do you call that? The not stupid, the stubbornness of a cultist of Mithras. Now it's all apparent to you. Tonight, Abraham Mellon will be trying to induct Sri Sansa into the cult.
I'm going to encourage this.
Mm.
But unlike Mr. Mellon,
Mhm.
Sir Christopher's encouragement will be genuine.
Mhm. Do you believe that Mr. Mellon is being disingenuous?
I believe that Mr. Mellon is using quite a bit of subterfuge to convince Sri Sansa to join into a cause he knows very little about.
Oh,
He is not trying to, as far as I understood at least, he's not trying to convince Sri Sansa of a worthy cause. He's trying to manipulate him. Mellon is trying to manipulate Sri Sansa into joining without knowing much, which does lead me to believe that Mellon is having ulterior motives.
Oh, no, no, no. I think I might have not given that a clear, explanation. Abraham Mellon
Oh,
is a staunch follower of Mithras.
okay.
He does not want to roughen up the edges. He wants to give Sri Sansa the full package, the total deal, with all its ups and downs, and he wants to be truthful.
Okay, I did
No
not get
worries, no
that.
worries, no worries. No, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It must be my way of explaining things that this wasn't explained properly. But yeah, from what it looks like, Sri Sansa's talents have caught his attention, and now he is building up the case.
Okay, then I don't need to interfere.
So, what about Thomas and Sextus? Do you people want to do anything or interfere as the talk goes on before the final confrontation?
Don't believe so.
I think Sextus is just kind of having her eyes glaze over at all of this.
Then enter Amelia Turpin, the lady who approaches you all. Good afternoon, everyone. says Lady Amelia. And then Soris introduced herself as an associate of Dr. Mellon. Them two are a nasty researchers duo. Two, two Tremere that can actually be considered this two opposite sides of the same coin. They still adhere to the pyramid standards, but Lady Turpin, she is an occultist through and through. But Mr. Mellon is much more of a scientific than sorry, Tremere. These two people will try to impose their will on Sri Sansa, their fellow Tremere. Ah, after all, I'm only a humble Punjabi gentleman, says Sri Sansa. Melon only smiles, only laughs when he mentions that, when Sri mentions that he is humble. I would hardly say so, sir. Our prince values your connection to your mortal wounds, something that so many of us lack these days. He wishes to recruit you to his cause, so he may stave off the beast. Shri looks tempted. It is indeed the greatest of honors, he says with a grin. You have persuaded me, sir. I am ready to devote myself to our prince's cause. Melon looks at
Is Turpin
Turpin. Mhm. Go
is
on.
Turpin going to interfere?
No. She is standing there with her eyes fixed at Sri Sansa. But Sextus, you see something different. Amelia is looking strongly and intently at you. You did not choose her. You chose the fucking Xander. You chose the decadent, hedonistic piece of shit over to the incredible and kind tutor that Miss Turpin would have been to you. How dare you? How could you do that to her? How could you betray her? Oh, please forgive me. It must have been the fact that Amelia Turpin seems to dominate everyone around here, even the storyteller. But Sextus,
Oh, this woman.
then carrying on and without wanting to impose, if you want to do anything, just say so. I'm here for you. They
She is
care.
going to return uh, Miss Turpin's gaze, but in a more placid way, pretending to be unaffected by it.
We shall leave in 1 hour, says Mellon. My carriage will be ready. It might be better if we appear to live separately, he says as he looks straight in the eye. And then he immediately, as soon as he came, so soon does he depart, leaving you three with Sri and Miss Turpin. Turpin doesn't even pay attention to anyone, not to anyone in the coterie. She leans closer to Sri. You chose well, young bull. Now pray, we will only discuss your future with House Cardinal. She nods, and in her other without being noticed, right? Inconspicuous, in a rather inconspicuous way, she disengages from the conversation, leaving you three with three, who looks like he has had some better nights. Sri looks at all of you. Damn, that was too much, he says.
Is this what you wanted to show us tonight, old friend? Your
You heard,
initiation.
you heard them what they said about Mithras, but I sense some vileness in their words, a different intention, a hidden agenda, yet I cannot fathom why. But I need to join them. Otherwise, what hopes do I have? A rather foreign person in a foreign country.
We are all kindred, my friend. We aren't knaves all. Trust none of us, as they say. There is a vileness in them. There will always be a vileness in any single one of us, including the most trusted ones. What's done is done. You are one of us. You will be one of us. This is but a memory.
One of us. That
One of us.
that word that sentence that you just uttered rings in your ears. That one of us. As you close your eyes, when you open them, you're in a different place. A place that smells of iron, blood. You three, find yourselves in a pool. You are naked. You are not wearing a single thing. You look around and you only notice that you are in the blooding chamber of the Mithraeum. This really reminds you of so many things that you have endured in the past and you have seen in the past. And you turn around and you hear a priest talking to Sri Sansa, who's standing there, who's just cutting his wrist open and allows his Vita, to fall into the pool that actually covers half of your body now. You are standing. The priest says, one of us, one of us. And Sri Sansa repeats, one of us. In the very same sentence, you get to repeat, the three of you. One of us.
One of us. One of us. Part of the ship, part of. Sorry, wrong setting.
Stop it. Stop
I
it.
was going with the freaks. Google gobble google.
Yeah,
I went to Finding Nemo. Ahu wahi yahu hoo hoo.
But still,
there goes
you
the
are,
atmosphere.
yeah, of course, you had to break the atmosphere, my sweet friend, but it's okay. I mean, other than Sri Sansa, it's Gwendolyn Fen Arwen who sheds her blood for you. As she repeats the words uttered by the priest. And
One
then
of us.
Valerius, shedding his blood for you as well. Those prominent figures, those elders that want to invest in you as Mithras has instructed. And then, on the other side of the pool, you see Richard the Ward cutting his wrist open. Again, for you. And before you, you see the father of them all, your god, Mithras, the child of Adartha, Your son God doesn't speak, he looks you in the eyes. What he wants of you is plain submission and utter devotion. Can you afford both? Drink, drink deep of the holy purifying vitae, says the priest. Be as one with Mithras, your lord, lord of the undying isles of the mighty. Merge your strength with his and gain his bountiful favor. Now the voice, even though it might sound like Abraham Mellon's, it doesn't. You turn to look at the priest initiating this whole thing, and you see a rather familiar individual, Pater Thomas. Ah, the Mithraic cult's Pater, the one who wrote the letter for you.
Uh, I'm sorry. Remind me, we haven't seen Pater
Mm-mm.
Thomas just
No,
yet, have we? We've
no,
only gotten his letter.
yes, not
He was the
in,
one who woke us up,
yes, and he's not the
right?
one who woke you up. No, but you have read
Nope.
his letter, yeah. But from what it looks like, you have seen the man before, and now I offer to you
Well,
an image that you can attach to that particular person. Pater Thomas is doing his very best to lead the ceremony at an impeccable standard. You remember being blindfolded. You remember getting unclothed. You remember how you descended into this forbidden chamber. You remember how you entered the Mithril. You remember all the tiles decorated with the pictures of bulls, the bull dancers, the wreaths of laurel, and of the ivy line the walls and ceiling that would cover and encompass it all. You remember the circular pit in the floor. You remember the baptismal font. You remember that pool of blood. You remember the base, its base, and the mosaic. And you remember how Pater Thomas entered the pool with you. He was closed, though. He whispered to you, in nomine Mithri, carrying on with the utter prayer that really merges the Christian prayer and heightens it to the level of Mithras, as he would ask of you to lie in the pool and then submerge yourself in front of your own Lord. You saw each other. You remember how you laid in your back, how you allowed yourself to submerge into that crimson pool of vitae. You remember how you left all the memories behind. Your masters chanting in ancient Persian, the warm air surrounding you all, the magic in the air. You remember it all now. And as soon as the vitae invaded into your body, filling up every cavity of yours, you felt your memories drifting away. You felt yourself giving in. You remember that. You remember you were rendered in a stasis night after night for a full lunar month as more vampires shed their blood for you, filling the pool almost at a meter and a half. whilst she would lay still there, not moving, unmoving, unflinching, devoted to your Lord. Sextus, do you remember what got through your mind that time? Anything that would have gone through your mind?
A relief and exultation. Everything that she has worked for is finally coming to fruition.
But you would leave behind your hair. There were so many admirers of you back then, and you left them all unattended. You left, but first and foremost, you left him, your child. You've left Elias.
I did, didn't I? And yet he seems to have thrived.
You did not
It
feel
is a regret.
going. Sorry.
It is a regret, but
Ah,
not a heavy one.
yet, and not yet, and you remember how your mind started having these strange images, images that did not ever cross your mind, images of you living in the Indies, in the Indies. You remember how you lived there with your father. As your father, the one who abandoned you at the very pub that we experienced before, that one was kicked out of the equation. Now you have a family. Now your family, your adopted family, got you in and nurtured you into the fine woman you would become. And then you traveled to the Greater Albion. You arrived in London with a ship, and then you attended that gala, and then you got inducted in the Cult of Mithras. And then you have it's all different in your mind. You want to enjoy. You want to enjoy the pleasures of immortality. A notion that is not your own, that it only became part of you because you decided to experience the blooding and to allow yourself to merge with Sri Sansa's very own self. Do you remember all this now? Do they ring a bell?
Oh, yes. Yes. All too familiar.
Ah, then now allow me to say that this restriction is now gone. Now that I appeal to your sense of reason, you can freely alter your ambition now. And from that point on, your mind is not locked to Sri Sansa's own faith. Likewise,
Excellent.
likewise, Thomas, how do you feel? Please tell us more and more and more and more about how do you feel now that you are getting submerged into the crimson liquid? Now that you're gonna leave everything behind. You have left the kingdom. Leon Guayo told you, but you should take care of your own, meaning domain, herd, people. A lord always pays their dues with that funny French accent of his. But yet
Hmm.
left them all behind, right?
Right. It was what started as something that Thomas did to kind of, I guess, rebel against his against his sire and his upbringing. Kind of has consumed him at this point, and he's kind of at the point of no return in this, and
As the
I think at
blood,
this point he was thinking that he was breaking the former chains, but not realizing that he was kind of chaining himself to someone new.
now it makes sense why Leon abandoned London. It makes sense why he ran away from Mythos. A Frenchman should never have put their foot onto English soil, they would say back then. But you deep down within you, you know that even in the world of vampires, that could find its way, that restriction and that curse could find its way into forcing a Frenchman outside. Now, as the blood filled every emptiness within you, you felt, you started feeling a brand new man. You vaguely remember anything around about your background. You mentioned Texas before, right? Gone.
Mm,
You mentioned that accent, right? Gone.
right.
Your past, gone. Gone, gone, gone. And you all are left with is an ambition to create a kindred kingdom of your own, strong enough, an ambition that burns bright within your heart. You started with that, it has been with you since the very beginning of our friendship. And you kind of started doing this. Pray, is this because you obeyed that ambition? Or did it just coincide with your own viewpoint, Thomas?
I think a little of both.
Mm.
The fact that they were under and away for so long, and everything that he had before is pretty much gone. It's kind of a rebuilding, but also it was more of a coincidence that they coincided and kind of worked together.
Is it a coincidence? Or were you really chosen by the bloody because you were the most fit for that?
Huh?
True,
Who knows? Thomas isn't a philosopher.
indeed. But as you open your eyes and see only the crimson liquid and nothing more, you do realize that your ambition gets chained with you as long as he exists. If you face the demon who shares the same ambition as yourself, you then and only then will you be able to break free of that. But pray, what happens if you actually bask at having this? Then you would reach out to that owner of the ambition, Richard the Ward, and
Oh,
and try to manipulate to and try to overwhelm him with your own vampiric. Now I heard your your the moment of revelation, eh? Alas, unlike the other people of your coterie, your ambition will not go unless you meet him uh, face first.
Right.
And then, last but by no means least, what about you, Sir Christopher? What are you thinking of right now? Now that you find yourself in the blooding, right in that pool, as you allow yourself to extend, to enter a torturous sleep for your Lord and Savior Mithras.
So this is where this part of the adventure started. This is where we were put to sleep.
Damn, yeah. Do you remember what happened then? You remember that there were two things that you really, really cared about. One of them was Arthur. Not because you loved him
Was
or anything, huh? But because he was.
you'd be you would be surprised. Arthur was never just a tool. He was a valued companion. In the best way that even we can feel about valued companions, but Christopher's dead heart was actually beating for that man, for he saw Arthur as his long lost son, who grew up to be much more than even Christopher ever believed. He
Damn,
was
that's
taken
so
care of.
touching. Please take an experience point right off the bat.
Thank you. Uh,
That was
Christopher
unexpected.
would Christopher would did go to any lengths so that Sir Arthur would be taken care of without being made one of us, because he was not because Christopher would not force this on someone.
I understand.
And the second was actually the city of London, and this is why his ambition didn't change, even though we know now that that the current ambition is that of Valerius.
Indeed. But you never
But
mentioned hair.
yes,
How could you? How have you forgotten, Sir Christopher? Give me back that experience
did,
point that I know, Jake. How could you have
did I
forgotten?
forget though? Did I forget? Or is it that the memories that she deleted from me started to resurface?
Oh,
Or
no
is it that she
way!
wanted to forget me?
Work. I adore
Or
this turn of events. Did she really
or
delete
worse,
herself off your memory?
here's what I just thought, and I think this would be perfect. We were actually bonded by blood before this blooding. This blooding. Uh, my sire and I. We were not ready for what was going to follow, so we decided to take the coward's way out, the easy way out.
Mhm. It's getting all too Lannister for our tastes, but I understand and I respect that in a way. Because a lover's story
Eh,
can have all kinds of ups and downs, and all kinds of
The, the
peculiar.
problem was that none of us was certain on how this would turn out, how this blooding would turn out, how a duty to Mithras would turn out, and what was my sire's name? Sorry, kind of blipped out
A-
there for a
Ange-
moment.
Angelique
Angelique.
Blackwood. Yeah.
Neither Christopher nor Angelique was prepared for what they would do to each other due to this long absence.
Mhm.
So we decided to drink the waters of Lethe
Mhm.
and let our memories resurface as needed. When the time was right, if the time was right, if we were both walking on this world, we would find each other again. A romantic notion, silly notion, childish notion. We didn't care. It was our notion. This was the fate we chose for ourselves. And this is where Christopher remembers that he is going to find her.
Interesting. And then you feel it. You feel the crimson waters surrounding you, and then you just give in. It all ends, gets total black.
Oh no, it all just begins.
And then you hear a voice that is shouting. Well, really talking, but talking in a loud voice, tutoring, giving a lecture once more, as your consciousness forces you back into the Southall Library. Now all you see is Sri Sansa giving a lecture, as he has done in the 1888s, and there are so many people listening to him talking. And now things are different. You remember what happened before? You remembered when he actually gave that lecture, and then people started experiencing those small miracles, those brief moments of vampiric respite that even the mortals wouldn't even are not able to fathom. And then his eyes fall onto you. He his pupils widen. He betrays his surprise. And now that's when we reach our end for tonight, my dear friends, says Sri Sansa. The spirits have clouded my mind, and I will need a brief respite. Thank you very much for your time. We will convene in a month's time. You understand where this is going. Sri Sansa will leave Cotterby. You will not have a chance to meet him again, because he wishes to disengage. Thank you so much for your time. So we'll, uh, I'll let Arjun call you. Thank you very much. And he tries to break it for the exit to the back.
Oh, hell no. Sextus, get him.
Like a hound, right?
Yeah. She does have enough celerity for it.
Of course. So, people, do I assume that you only let Sextus behind him, or are you all hunting him? Well,
We will
chasing
all
him, not
hunt him.
hunting. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we all will.
Uh-huh.
But Sextus, with all specs and celerity, is the most well suited.
Excellent. So let's
And
proceed.
when the time comes, peasants will come into
Or
play,
dominate.
and if needed, potents.
Of course, of course, of course. So let's proceed with that. Sextus, I would ask of you to roll your dexterity. Well, everyone actually. Please roll your dexterity plus athletics. Sextus, if you want to also use your fleetness, feel free to add your celerity rating to that. And please roll as high as you can because the target number for that should be 5.
Hmm.
And I'll be rousing the blood.
Excellent.
I'll be rousing the blood too because my dexterity and athletics is kind of shit.
Yeah, same.
What's the difficulty? 5?
5, yes. Oh, 5 successes. 3 successes and 3 successes.
Wait, I'm willpowering that!
Okay.
I don't get to.
Oh,
Okay.
come on.
Ah,
Let
Sextus,
me
do you want to try?
arouse, please.
Do you want to try to make that success a
Okay, I don't
critical?
get hungrier.
Sextus, do you want to make that success a critical, or are you okay with 5?
I think I'm okay with 5. I don't want to risk.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, 5 is good.
Excellent. So you run behind the man and you swiftly sprint across down the aisle as you try to follow him. He opens the door and then he darts off to the left side. You follow suit, covering the ground. But as your friends try to follow you, then you see all of those people standing up and taking a good look at you. Stop, stop, they say, and they fall in front of you, trying to block you from getting there. What WTF is going on here? I mean, those people, those humans, those normal humans are no experienced fighters. Stop, stop, they say. They pull at you, they tug you to their side. It just feels like some worms, as if some worms try to deter you from even moving. Yet Sextus is lost further ahead as she chases Sri Sunset down. Now, I won't get there. I will stay here and ask you, Thomas and Christopher, what's your approach like? Get in here, stop. You didn't get no call. You are a stranger. We don't know you. Do you know him, Lucy? No, I don't. They start screaming at your face. Quite, quite intently so. Now, your reaction.
Hmm.
Mass
Can
compulsion would be so nice right now.
Which one? The mask
can I
roll?
mass compulsion?
Ah.
Can I apply? Can I apply
Apply what?
presence 1 or
Okay.
into a leadership, or I don't think it would be intimidation. No, I want to make it into an either a leadership or a performance role. Let me see how I can make it so that they disperse. Leadership would make more sense. As in, we're here at the request of powers deeper and more powerful than any one of you.
With your presence, you try to use your manipulation plus your leadership to actually impose your will upon them, right?
Manipulation plus leadership. No, I can't impose. I can't use presence that way. It's going to be a charisma roll, so no, that wouldn't work.
Okay, okay.
So
we can
this is what I
have.
would attempt to do, and it would fail.
Wait a minute. We can have a Jesus Christ moment when you actually come in with your presence and play it like charisma plus again plus leadership, as in stand
Huh.
down ship. This is you know these are the powers that be. The powers that be are here, or something like that. But this you.
Okay, I can see that working.
Mhm. What do you say, people?
Right.
Uh, Thomas and Sextus, do you agree on that approach? I mean, does it sound okay?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is more like that would be more like up Christopher's alley too. They, back down, stand down, let me through, people, for I am his chosen, or something like that.
Okay, got it. Got it. Then I'm looking
So,
for your best. May
okay,
King be with you.
that would be charisma plus leadership.
That would be charisma plus leadership plus presence plus your pretty dice.
That's a huge dice roll. uh, that is already a dice roll of 9. What's the difficulty?
The difficulty for that should be
Could
6.
easily be a 5. 6?
Yeah,
Holy
yeah, yeah,
crap.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I will be raising for it.
You,
Danger, but this is very important. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm raising for it.
Mhm.
This is a rather difficult roll. And you know what? I'm going to willpower it for even more success. I want to make it a crit.
It is a crit. It is a, yeah, it is a crit. It is a messy crit.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
Okay.
yeah, and then it happens. You let the power of authority emanate from you, Lord. And you, as you know better than anyone, please describe it to us as vividly as you want, because this is your moment. This is your critical success. Lord, describe it.
Yes, 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 yes. Sir Christopher rises to his full height, his chest puffed out, his delicate, noble features almost shining in a light only perceived in one's mind's eye, as his deep, commanding voice demands that they part their way, demands that they allow him through, and it is his radiance that gets them to back down. You will let me through, for I am the one who needs to move. You will let me through, for you know me.
Thomas, the road, the way is clear. From what it looks like, Sir Christopher has opened up a way like Moses has the Red Sea, and no one dares to actually step closer because they are stricken with that divine longing. It feels
Well, at
so,
least we didn't have to get physical. Let's go.
it feels so damn surreal. And then, before you go, well, Thomas may start going, but you, Sir Christopher, messy critical we're talking about, so your arrogance kicks in, the then true
Yes.
arrogance. You have to force them to obey your command, not with dominate. They have to show to you that you are superior to them. Until you satisfy the requirement, you will be receiving a 2 dice penalty for any actions not directly related to that.
Uh, so, okay, I will gladly take that. And Sir Christopher will force his beast down in this case when his turn comes back again. We have bigger fish to fry. We need Sri Sansa. We need to move.
Mm-hmm.
But that will be in my turn, and I will see how that goes.
Mm,
Next.
I understand. So, Thomas, you are running, right? As intended before.
Yeah.
But but when we move to the next room, we'll need to discuss about what Sextus has done. Sextus, you have followed the man outside, and now you see him running towards the taxi, um, the taxi stop, so to say. But you
Mm-hmm.
are fast, and as soon as Thomas comes out of the building, then you, Thomas, regard see Sextus reaching Sri Sansa. Now, Thomas, will you be closing in? Will you be going to where Sextus is?
Yeah, I do believe so.
Okay, good. Now, it only Sextus. Obviously, you're gonna hold off Sri Sansa, right? And you start talking or even hit, getting physical with
Yeah.
him. I understand.
Yes.
Now, Sir Christopher, the road is clear. Do you perchance want to take advantage of all those people and indulge your compulsive side? You mentioned that you don't want to, right? But how do you envision that happening? Will you be sustaining the -2 dice penalty for that? And you'll be strutting unobstructedly through them, by them?
Yes,
Okay. So,
yes, I will take the two. I will take the 2 dice penalty, but I will at the same time bask at how they actually parted before me.
hmm, that was quite badassy, wasn't it?
I know that will delay me, but fuck that. I'm going to take my time.
Excellent.
And yeah, I will take the 2 dice penalty. Moving through them.
Excellent. So let's return to you, Sextus. Now, from what it looks like, you've caught them. I mean, it was quite of an arduous chase, but it didn't it didn't deter you at all. Your celerity did a lot of work here. You ended up reaching Sri Sansa in time. On top.
Oh,
Now
but darling, where are you off to in such a hurry?
he was about to enter the taxi, and then all of a sudden he turns to look at you. What do you want from me? He says, clearly agitated and afraid. Now let's move over there, shall we? I mean, let's change. Let's do a change of scenery here. What do you
Oh,
want from me? He asks
what indeed? You have something that belongs to us. To the cult.
He doesn't say a thing. He just you caught his attention. Which cult? Which cult are you referring to? And I already know who you are. I've seen you before. Sextus, this is your moment until your friends join you.
If you recognize who I am, you know what I want.
he closes the taxi's door, he won't be entering tonight. I already know who you are. So that means that your cult is in danger.
Yes. And we intend to fix that.
How do you intend to fix that? What is expected of me to do? I have allowed myself as a to be a people pleaser and allow your spokesman to induct me in that cult. Now what do you want of me?
The artifact.
Yeah.
But we should not be discussing this so publicly.
Now, Thomas, this is the time where you get to arrive as Sextus carries on.
Y'all are fast. Have we already discussed what we came here for?
He's aware.
And I understand that you want your artifact back. But this is not just as simple as you would realize.
Why isn't it? God. Why isn't it so simple?
Because we'll need to discuss more about what's going on in London. It looks like you've only awakened into a London that you remember, but this pales in comparison with how you left it as. So that means that we will need to negotiate about that.
Always with the negotiating.
Must we always be so gauche?
Not without me, you're not negotiating.
For once, I just want to show up and be able to break somebody's fingers and have them just tell us what the hell we want.
Now I agree with your friend.
When we
Go on.
When we find the word, you'll have your opportunity.
When we find a word, I'm taking his head.
You'll have no argument for me.
So you decided to bring violence to London as well. Well, this might actually be quite fitting to you then. Fine. We will talk. But we will need to discuss your input in this. Besides, I want nothing to do with the cult of Mithras anymore. Oh, that's interesting. What happened? Such a long time.
Does Christopher show up finally?
Yes. Because you said when you talked, I thought that you actually ended up
Okay.
arriving. Yeah.
One does not idly leave Mithras' light, as you well know. But you will be free to plead your case with us. Right now, we are the highest available authority you can reach. Now, let's get somewhere out of sight and out of mind where nobody will be paying attention to our discussion, shall we?
He nods. The man is proud, and you see that he responds poorly to bullying or intimidation. So,
Please excuse my friends. We have indeed had a, let's say, rather interesting series of encounters with the stewards of the objects that were entrusted to them. Each and every one of us wanted to take advantage of us, make us do their dirty work for them. It would be good for once that the steward of an item could be entrusted to return it to its rightful owners. Not us. We're merely messengers. We are merely on a mission ourselves. We hope that you would be more cooperative. We hope that you would be the one bright exception in all of our misadventures so far. I will be glad to regale all our stories. I will be more than happy to tell you all about them, and I will be glad to help you find a way out of this cult, especially now. You have nothing to fear from us other than a misplaced frustration from my companions. I trust that we are all mature enough that we will not need to use further coercive methods, are we?
are you looking to your friends or Sri when addressing that?
I'm actually looking at everyone.
Mhm.
It is still and always will be Christopher's greatest, what's it called? Desire to bring consensus. London cannot be defended by bringing war into its streets.
Mhm.
No, not into its streets, into her streets.
Mhm.
Let's
Yeah,
find a place out of the way.
Let's see what
Thomas
you're
is
thinking.
disgruntled. For once, he wants violence to be the answer.
Yeah.
And I can assure you that relinquishing one of our Lord's possessions will grant you a lot of leeway, my friend. For we are all friends here in the end.
Now, please, if anyone wishes to try to discern something in Sri Sansa, I would gladly give you the chance to actually make that Wits plus Insight. What's going on with Insight? Wits plus Insight at the target number of 3.
I will definitely make it. Make it.
I'll give it a try.
Is it a profiling roll?
It is, yeah, it is.
I will take half, Babis. I have a dice pool of 6 with my specialty for 3 wits, 2 insight, and 1 specialty.
Cool. So Sextus
I will
and
definitely make that.
people, the ones who succeeded, right? You realize that Sri Sansa responded much more politely and eagerly to politeness rather than to intimidation. Now you know for sure that this elder will not relinquish the ring if you bully him. But persuasion is a different path, one that you should definitely take caringly, because persuading a Tremere is quite interesting, an interesting notion. Then Sri mentions that
For once, will the fucking steward give the thing he was entrusted to? Fucking Denethos, all of you!
We we will have to discuss. As I promised, I will be taking this cup. You may take the other. We'll convene at the restaurant named the Subtle Spice in Southall. These are the directions.
Very well. Be so kind as to not keep us waiting.
And so you all enter your car, right? He enters a cab and you enter one behind him, right? And you follow Sri Sansa. As you find yourselves in the car, you just come to wonder, momentarily so, where is this all going? Why, as Nigel exclaimed before, why are things so difficult sometimes? Why can't Sri Sansa just hand over the artifact as the rest of them have done before? Why? Why do they have to be like that?
Oh, it is easy to fall. It is easy to be seduced by the power that such items bring, especially if you know their power, especially if you are an occultist, if you can feel the strength that flows through them, and even more now that the strength of the person who infused these items is no longer around.
Mm,
It would be easy to succumb to temptation, and we are also prone to temptation, aren't we?
of course we are.
Especially as children of the night.
Mm. Thomas, you keep your
We-
eyes steady. Go on, go on.
Especially given that these items may offer a semblance of stability, and we are also static beings. So it does make sense to Sir Christopher, but it still instills a very profound sadness in him.
Mm. And so, Thomas, you keep your eyes onto that taxi because you expect of the elder to actually, break his promise and just drive off. Mm? And what about you, Sextus? Do you believe that this is gonna go well?
I don't believe it's gonna go well, but I don't believe he's a flight risk
Mm.
as of right now.
Why don't I just ride with our friend here just to make sure? I can be cordial.
Let's show Trisansa a modicum of trust for now. Let's trust that he will not run. If he does, we know that he was never to be trusted, and he is going to be lumped in the same exact vat as our dear friend, Monsieur de Ward. And you will get your wish, my friend. At the same time, though, I know their kind. They are not easy to pin down, and they are even worse in a fight. But I believe you will be able to have some fun, so to speak.
Fun, of course. You will have until you get that damn ruby ring off of Sri Sansa's hands.
Was he wearing it, by the way?
Nope. That's an excellent question, but sadly not. He wasn't wearing it.
Hmm.
Now that's the most troublesome and worrisome part, that he has it stored somewhere else, and probably only he will be able to divulge that info.
Yes, of course.
But we'll find that out next time when we actually resume with our game. Next time, it's going to be that chapter's finale. Will you get the ruby ring, or will you fail to get it once and for all? It will all rest on your capable hands, in your capable hands. So, having said that, I want to thank you so much for playing with us tonight, and I want to award you with 4 experience points. One for arriving tonight, a second one for role playing, a third one for being altruistic and team like, and the fourth one for actually reliving the very first moment, the very start of your story, where you actually underwent the
Real,
bloody. Mhm.
real quick. Sexus's desire was to learn more of her past for this evening.
Ooh, that was a
Nice.
good one.
Yes.
Bravo.
Please get your experience points, Sextus, and a point of willpower, a point of willpower refreshed for you.
Right.
Well, bloody done.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So yeah, having said all
Pun
those,
very much intended.
having said all those kind things, I believe that we are done for tonight. If you have any questions, anything that you want to mention about the story or how we proceed, I'm all ears.
Uh,
I'm here for you.
Babis, I believe that I have one of the convictions because it's how I've been role playing Sir Christopher.
Uh-huh.
It will be tied to the 6-year-old girl.
Yeah,
What's his name's daughter?
I think it's
Sorry.
Charlie, isn't it? Charlie, or let me just double check.
Charles
It's
Evans's daughter.
yeah,
And it will be to always brook consensus,
okay.
even between even between disparate parties.
Okay. Can you please add that to your conviction so that I can actually,
Yes,
address that? Yeah. When you.
Let
Yeah.
me find the convictions. Yes. Okay. Uh,
Certainly.
conviction. Sovereignty springs
Yeah.
from breeding and style.
So, yeah, take
Always.
your time. I mean, I'm always gonna be here for you. And people, thank you so much for tonight. I'm gonna see you next time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you all kindly, and see you next time. Bye bye.